Hey everyone, it's Jeremy, and welcome back to Red Dragon Comics and Gaming. And today I just wanted to have a discussion about an interview I recently saw with the cast of The Walking Dead TV show, in which Andrew Lincoln, the man who plays Rick Grimes, discusses his wishes for how he would like the character of Rick to die. Now, before we begin, I would just like to say that I would consider myself a big fan of The Walking Dead. It is my favorite comic book of all time for a multitude of reasons, from the art to the rich and dark storytelling to the character relationships and development. The only comic I have read that even comes close to my love for The Walking Dead is, funnily enough, by the same author, Robert Kirkman. On top of that, I'm also into a lot of other zombie media, such as The Last of Us, the classic Romero films, Plants vs. Zombies, but The Walking Dead is easily my favorite. Regardless, I love The Walking Dead comics. I've read it several times now, and have tried to absorb as much content from that universe as I can, such as the TT games, any spin-off comics that I'm able to get my hands on. Despite this, though, I have never seen the entirety of the AMC TV show. I believe I stopped watching right around the arc with the cannibals. However, I do know a bit about the show, as I have seen the first few seasons, and have also seen a few random episodes when I walk in on my parents watching it. From everything I know, the show is nowhere near comic accurate, and in some cases outright spits in the face of the comics. But I will say that if this video can get up to 35 likes, then I will watch the show in full and make a video covering my full thoughts on it as compared to the comics. But anyways, that all brings me to the Andrew Lincoln interview. From what I could find, the video came from an interview that Mr. Ricky Dicky Doo-Dog Grimes did in 2017 at a con. And as I said at the start of this video, he discusses how he would like for his character to die. Now, I have several issues with this video that I will show you in just 1 second. However, chief among them is that the interview came out in 2017. The comic didn't even end until 2019, and the way in which Rick actually dies is very important to the overall story as a whole.
And he went, don't tell anybody, because it's good. So in a very heroic act, Rick jumps off, Carls, and he's still alive. Don't worry about Carl, him. And maybe that's the last thing I say. Anyway, I jump off, and I'm like kung fu kicking, all the, earn my action figure, right? Halfway through, I get bit. Ow! Doesn't matter. Keep going, Carl. They've gone. Tracks through the desert. High shot. Beautiful. High shot. Anyway, deal with that stuff. I get and I'm dying on my own. On my own, just waiting to die. And then I wait and I patch up, and then a day passes.
You patch up?
I patch myself up. Man. I'm a survivalist. Anyway, I patch myself up. I don't die. Final shot is, holy shit, maybe I'm the cure. Final shot of the whole thing. High shot. Herd of zombies coming. Rick gets up. Follows the tracks to go see Carl. High shot like this. Walking, the herd comes towards him. And they separate. He walks through. Boom!
Rick was murdered by Sebastian, the son of the Commonwealth's leader. Rick is meant to be a martyr, When Sebastian killed him, he sealed away any hope that his own previous social status would ever be restored. Sebastian killed Rick out of anger that Rick had taken away his way of life. Rick changed the ways of the Commonwealth, just like he did for the Saviors and Alexandria before that. Luckily, his loved ones made sure that the words he said to the people of the Commonwealth lived on. Rick said, "We are not the Walking Dead." It was a direct parallel to the early chapters of the comic when he states to his surviving group that they are the Walking Dead. It's meant to show that they don't have to be the monsters. They don't have to be the bad guys. They can change society for the better. And that is why the epilogue of The Walking Dead is so beautiful. It shows that there is a way forward, and that the world could be made back, and made even better than it was before. I'll be honest, when I first read the comic and I saw Rick die, I was angry. I sat there and thought that everything I had just read meant nothing. But then I flipped the page, and then I saw the epilogue and how good it was, where it goes into the future and how society has changed in those 20 or so years. Now this all brings me to what Lincoln actually said regarding Rick's death. He talks about how he wants Rick to be bit and to not turn. He wants Rick to stand up and a horde of walkers would part to let him through, like it's Moses and the Red Sea. I'm just gonna be straight up. I hate this idea, and here's why. Rick is not Ellie from The Last of Us. He was never meant to be somebody special. He wasn't a chosen savior of men. Rick was just a good man and an amazing leader. Yes, he had his weak points all the way throughout the series. We all remember him at his lowest point, after he watched his home fall to the governor and saw his wife and newborn child die in the chaos. He became a heartless killer whose only concern was to live and to keep his remaining family safe. We see this in the brutal way that he deals with threats after the fall of the prison, from the cannibals all the way to how he initially treated the people of Alexandria and how he acted during the war against the Saviors. However, even at his darkest, Rick was still an amazing leader. He had people fighting side by side with him, comrades who would die for him and who he was willing to die for. No, what truly made Rick into the man that changed the survivors of the world was his character and his heart. Post time skip and even starting some during the war against the Saviors, Rick became somebody to look up to. He moved on from his past and found love again with the goat Andrea, and even became closer to his son Carl. And he became a great leader for the people of Alexandria. All of this helped him to grow as a man and as somebody who could inspire others to be better than they were even in the days before the trials. Like I said, Rick wasn't special. He was just a good man and a great leader. Now, before I close out, I would like to say that it is possible that Andrew Lincoln was just joking in this clip. I mean, we hear people in the crowd laughing, his co-stars are laughing at him. However, I don't think that it would be too far of a stretch for AMC to actually go with something like that, considering that they're the same people who killed off Carl halfway through the show, and who made a spin-off series about Maggie and Negan. You know, the woman whose husband he murdered. But regardless of all that, whether he was joking or not, I think that this video was just a good way for me to get my thoughts about Rick Grimes' character across. But anyways, that's all I have for now, everyone. Leave your thoughts below and tell me what you think I should talk about next. I have ideas for more Walking Dead content, covering the Telltale games, maybe even some more into the comics. I'm planning on making a video going over all of Invincible Season 3 and my thoughts on it now that it's all out. I'm sorry I haven't released a video in so long. I've had the script for this video written for like 3 weeks actually. However, a lot of real life problems got in the way and I was just never able to record until now. I hope that you enjoyed the video. See you soon.